Good afternoon. My name is Dan Scripps, Chair of the Michigan Public Service Commission, and I call this meeting of the Commission to order on March 4th, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chair Scripps.
I am present and attending remotely from sunny Leelanau County, Michigan.
Commissioner Phillips.
I am present and attending remotely from a partly cloudy Ingham County, Michigan.
Commissioner Paratek.
I am present and attending remotely from also partly cloudy Wayne County, Michigan.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
And a weather report, it seems. Thank you, Madam Secretary. We are holding this meeting remotely using Microsoft Live Event. It is compatible with all browsers except Safari. Telephone relay service is available through the phone option. If you are participating via the live stream, you may also turn on the live captions by clicking on the closed caption or CC button in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. During this meeting, we will call out participant names before speaking to support those listening only by phone or using relay service. As indicated in the notice for today's meeting, if we lose connection, the Commission will be in recess. We will attempt to re-establish a connection, but if we are unable to do so within 15 minutes, we will adjourn. Decisions made prior to the disconnection will be binding and other business will be handled at a future meeting. We will not recess or adjourn due to technical issues experienced by individual members of the public. The meeting will be recorded and available for future reference on the Commission's website. In addition, the Commissioners can receive comment via mpsc_commissioners@michigan.gov. For reference, this email is also included in the Q&A feature on the live stream event on your computer and in the meeting notice. If you have intermittent internet service, you should consider listening to the meeting via telephone, not the computer. So if there is an interruption, you can avoid missing part of the meeting. Another option is to watch the meeting through your internet service with the sound muted and then listen to the audio from your phone. Please keep in mind, though, that the video feed has a slight delay while the telephone line is in real time. We will have an opportunity for the public to make comment as provided in the agenda. And a few notes about this. Comments should be limited to one per person and can be made verbally by calling in or in writing via the live stream Q&A feature. If you are participating via Teams application, you can use the Q&A feature and type your comments in the box anytime during our meeting, and we will have those queued up to read. The Q&A function should be used to request technical assistance or to submit public comments directed to the Commission. If you would like to make verbal comments, you must call into the meeting by phone. To minimize disruptions, attendees will be muted until we reach the time for public comment. And with that, the first order of business is approval of the agenda for today's meeting, and I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the agenda for today's Commission meeting.
Commissioner Paratek?
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve today's agenda. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by a unanimous vote, and the agenda is approved. The next item of business on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the February 18, 2021 Commission meeting, and I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
I move for the approval of the minutes from the February 18th, 2021 Commission meeting.
Commissioner Paratek?
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the minutes from the February 18, 2021 Commission meeting. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The Commission meeting minutes of February 18, 2021 are approved. The next item of business on the agenda is the approval of the orders on the consent agenda, and today the Commission is assisted by Staff Attorney Alyssa Day. I recognize Ms. Day.
Good afternoon. Today's consent agenda consists of 1 communications matter, 5 electric matters, and 2 gas matters. The proposed orders and minute action for these matters have been thoroughly vetted by the Commission's technical and legal staff and are ready for your approval.
Thank you, Ms. Day. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the orders and minute action on the consent agenda.
Commissioner Paratek?
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the orders and minute action on the consent agenda. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
Excuse me. I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The orders and minute action on the consent agenda are approved. Ms. Day?
Item 4A1 is case number 20892 et al., which involved a matter on the Commission's own motion to commence license revocation proceedings for 9 basic local exchange service providers. The order before you revokes the licenses for the following 7 providers: Air North Communications, Inc., CMC Telecom, Inc., Global Communications Network, Inc., IQ Telecom, Inc., Lucre, Inc., Michigan Access, Inc., and Rockford Telephone Company, Inc.
Thank you, Ms. Day. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Chair, I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20892 et al.
Commissioner Paratek,
I second the motion.
is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by a unanimous vote. The order in case numbers U-20892 et al. is approved. Ms. Day.
Item 4B1 is case number U20697, which involves an application filed by Consumers Energy Company for authority to increase its rates for the generation and distribution of electricity and for other relief. The order before you denies the petition for rehearing filed by the Residential Customer Group and grants the joint petition for rehearing filed by the Michigan Department of Attorney General, Michigan Environmental Council, Natural Resources Defense Council, and Sierra Club, and denies the requested relief.
Thank you, Ms. Day. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20697.
I second this motion. Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
I abstain.
I vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote with 1 abstention. The order in case number U-20697 is approved. Ms. Day.
Item 4B2 is case number U20896, which involves an application filed by Consumers Energy Company requesting approval of an amendment to the power purchase agreement with Midland Cogeneration Venture Limited Partnership. The order before you approves the amendment.
Thank you, Ms. Day. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20896.
I recognize Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote, and the order in case number U-20896 is approved. Ms. Day.
Item 4C1 is case numbers U17953 et al., which involve a complaint by Midland Cogeneration Venture Limited Partnership against Consumers Energy Company and an application for approval of amendments to gas transportation contracts pursuant to Public Act 9 of 1929. Staff member Nick Revere will describe this order.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. The order before you approves a settlement agreement which fully settles all issues in case numbers U-17953 and U-18010. Case number U-17953 involves a complaint by Midland Cogeneration Venture Limited Partnership, or MCV, against Consumers Energy, alleging, among other things, a failure to abide by the terms of the natural gas transportation and storage contracts under which MCV is served by Consumers Energy. Case number U-18010 is a request by Consumers Energy to clarify and or modify the terms of those same contracts. Staff was a party in both cases. Both cases have been open before the Commission since 2015, with numerous extensions and suspensions to allow the parties to attempt to reach a settlement. The settlement also relies on approval of an amendment to the Power Purchase Agreement, or PPA, between the two parties under which Consumers Energy purchases power from MCV in case number U-20896, just approved by the Commission, as well as disposition of a circuit court case between the two parties. This settlement recognizes the unique nature of service Consumers Energy provides MCV and the availability of a viable alternative to taking service from Consumers Energy while allowing for the revenues received from MCV to cover additional costs of Consumers Energy's system that would otherwise be borne by other customers. The settlement also allows for the rates charged to MCV to increase over a number of years, further reducing the cost to Consumers Energy's other customers over that time. The terms of the agreements covering the nature of natural gas transportation to MCV and the manner in which MCV receives natural gas over Consumers Energy's system have also been clarified. The settlement also resolves the complaint in case number U-17953, which is dismissed with prejudice. Case number U-20896 gives Consumers Energy the option of either purchasing the MCV plant in Midland or extending the PPA for 5 years to 2030 at a reduced capacity rate. The PPA provides greater certainty on pricing into the future and lowers the cost of that contract to Consumers Energy's customers by $5.3 million over the extended term. The amendment also provides a $61.4 million benefit over allowing the current contract to expire with no extension and procuring replacement energy and capacity from the market. As this settlement was negotiated at arm's length, resolves a number of issues before the Commission and other courts to the benefit of all parties, and provides substantial value to other customers of Consumers Energy, the parties request that the Commission approve the settlement and associated PPA amendment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Revere. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Mr. Revere, for your presentation and for the staff's work, continued work on this settlement agreement. I move for the approval of the order in case number U-17953 et al.
I recognize Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Just before we vote on this, I want to thank the many parties for getting us to this point today. As Mr. Revere noted, this order concludes nearly 6 years of back and forth in this proceeding. And I will say that, you know, while I don't have a firm view on whether settlements are always appropriate or sort of, you know, from a high level their place, I think this particular use is an effective use of a settlement agreement that results in an outcome that advances the objectives of each of the parties to the proceeding, as well as consumers' other customers more generally. And I think this settlement agreement provides a solid framework for moving forward after nearly 6 years, and want to express my appreciation to Mr. Revere and the rest of the Commission staff who have been actively involved in these efforts, and to all the parties in resolving the issues involved in this and moving us forward. Is there any other discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote, and the order in case numbers U-17953 et al. Is approved. Ms. Day, back to you.
Chairman, I apologize to interrupt. This is IT. Commissioner Phillips, it seems that your microphone is getting a lot of feedback.
Okay.
If you can try maybe turning down the volume on your computer or having the hassle of doing the mute when you are not talking.
Will do. I will mute my microphone until I have to speak here. Thank you, Kyle.
Awesome, thank you. Back to you.
Thanks, Kyle. Ms. Day?
Item 4C2 is case numbers U-20940 et al. Case number U-20940 involves an application filed by DTE Gas Company for authority to increase its rates for the distribution and supply of natural gas. Case number U-20963 involves an application filed by Consumers Energy Company for authority to increase its rates for the generation and distribution of electricity. The order before you designates certain milestones for the schedules of these two rate cases in order to manage the Commission's resources and allow both cases to proceed simultaneously.
Thank you, Ms. Day. I recognize Commissioner Phillips.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20940 et al.
I recognize Commissioner Paratek.
I second the motion.
Before we move to a vote on this one, I also just want to offer a few words. This order provides some degree of flexibility in the case schedules for these two major rate cases. With rate cases often involving 100 or more discrete issues, requiring an order within 10 months of filing, having proposed decisions from the administrative law judges that can be in the hundreds of pages, and then final orders that are nearly as long. Having some added flexibility in managing the case schedules, particularly for cases filed at around this time of year, given the loss of business days around the holidays between Thanksgiving and the end of the year. We wanted to take the step to provide some certainty up front, and also some adjustments to make sure that we can give the cases the full consideration that they're due, given the importance to ratepayers and to the companies. So I appreciate the efforts that have gone in from Lisa Gold and from the administrative law judges involved in these cases, and indeed from the parties and the interveners I think the order today will help us achieve the goal of making sure that we give each of these cases robust consideration for the many issues involved, and do it in a way that balances workload as we move forward. So with that, is there any further discussion? We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to approve the order. Commissioner Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Peretick.
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case numbers U-20940 et al. Is approved. We've now reached the time reserved for members of the public to address the Commission. Again, if you would like to make a comment and have access to the Teams live stream Q&A feature on your computer, please enter your name and your comment, which will then be read aloud to the Commissioners. This feature is available on the right-hand side of the control bar next to the mute button. As a reminder, the Q&A feature is intended for public comments directed to the Commission and not to engage with other participants or respond to their comments. After taking any comments through this feature, we will open up the phone line for those who called into the meeting and would like to address the Commission verbally. If you want to be queued up for verbal comments, please enter your name in the live stream Q&A feature and indicate that you wish to make a verbal comment, but you don't have to include your written comment, as this will avoid duplication. I will first call on these names in the order received. After hearing from those individuals listed in the Q&A, we will ask if there are any comments from individuals who are on the phone line but not utilizing the online Q&A feature. Please note that you can only make verbal comments by calling into the meeting, and when it is your turn to speak, press *6 on your phone to unmute. As a reminder, this public comment period is for Commissioners to listen to comments and concerns and not to answer specific questions. When providing comment, please indicate your name and where you live if you're willing to share, so we have that for our records. And please limit comments to one per person and keep them brief, no longer than 3 minutes, so that we have a chance to hear from all who would like to comment. And Ms. Cole, I believe that you are again ably helping us with the public comment period. I'm wondering if there are any comments that have been entered into the Q&A feature.
Chair Scripps, at this time there are no comments entered into the live event Q&A feature.
You know the next question. Are there any folks who have added their names who wish to make a verbal comment in the Q&A feature?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Cole. We'll now open up the phones to see if there's anybody who's dialed in and hasn't been able to use the Q&A feature. Again, as a reminder, press *6 on your phone to unmute, and I'm wondering if there's anybody on the phone today that would like to make a verbal comment. Again, you can press *6 to unmute. I'll offer that one more time. I know technology can be tricky. If you are on the phone and interested in making a public comment today, you can press *6 on your phone to unmute, and we'll take you in the order received. This day, I can almost hear your clock ticking even though you're on mute, just to fill the silence. One more time, if anybody's on the phone and would like to make a public comment, *6 to unmute. Okay, we will close the public comment period. Before we adjourn, just a few quick announcements. First, the Commission has revised its regular Commission meeting schedule by adding a meeting on Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. This is in an effort, as we addressed in the last agenda item, to add some flexibility in business days in terms of considering the rate cases being filed. The revised schedule will be posted to the Commission's website this afternoon. And again, that's an added meeting on Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021. Also, I wanted to note that this past Monday, March 1st, the Commission provided its 2020 annual report to the Governor and Legislature as required under statute. Both the report and the accompanying press release are available on the Commission's website, which is www.michigan.gov/MPSC. Not surprisingly, 2020 was a year of unique challenges, and I applaud the work of the Commission staff in working through adversity, ensuring that we could continue to rely on our critical energy and telecommunications infrastructure, and that families across Michigan who are staying home to stay safe, and many of whom making the transition to working and learning remotely, had the ability to lean on those telecommunications and energy services. At the same time, for the Commission, the work last year was robust, even in the midst of the pandemic. We approved 591 orders and other actions, marked the completion of the first year of the My Power Grid initiative, conducted nearly 1,000 inspection person days on new and existing natural gas pipelines, updated our technical standards for gas service, worked on the Commission's response to Governor Whitmer's My Healthy Climate Plan, participated in a large number of state and national work groups and task forces, launched a diversity, equity, and inclusion effort within the MPSC to focus on pressing issues of inequality and discrimination, and updated our 5-year strategic plan to ground our work for the years to come. I want to particularly recognize our staff for their dedication, perseverance, and commitment over the course of 2020, and for their ongoing efforts to maintain our position as a best-in-class commission and to continue to provide effective energy and telecommunications regulation and oversight on behalf of the people of Michigan. Commissioner Phillips or Commissioner Paratek, do either of you have any announcements before we close today?
I just wanted to say 2 quick things. First, thank you to the individual who commented in the chat about some of the feedback and audio quality issues that you're hearing on your end. That is our apologies for that, and certainly that is something that we will look into and make sure to address that issue prior to the next commission meeting. So thank you once again. And secondly, go green. Thanks, Chair.
We will we'll table that discussion to see where we are at our next meeting, but go blue. With that, that concludes today's meeting. Our next regular commission meeting is scheduled for Friday. Friday, you flustered me, Commissioner Phillips. Our next meeting is Friday, March 19th, 2021 at 10:30 a.m. Please note that this date and time departs from our usual afternoon time on a Wednesday or Thursday. With that, is there a motion to adjourn, Commissioner Phillips?
I motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Commissioner Paratek?
I second the motion.
We will now have a roll call vote on the motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Paratek?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries by unanimous vote, even if the support for tonight's basketball game isn't. The meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks all.
Go blue.